Um, this video, in this video, I will show you how we work in DCIG with the Chinese subtitles once we have converted the Word document that we received from the translators into an SRT file and then separated, let's say, the English from the Chinese, which we saw in two previous videos. Okay, now we are doing the cleaning. So something that you need to know is that we have kind of like a coding, because in in Premiere Pro, which is the editing software that we use, the bigger the font, the more space that it takes on the screen, right? And automatically Premiere Pro does, and actually all of the editing softwares, they do an automatic line break if you don't indicate it yourself. The problem with languages like Chinese is that, as you can see here, in case you're not a Chinese speaker, there's no space in between characters. Generally speaking, we can think of a character kind of like a word. It's not the rule, the absolute rule, but it's a general rule. So it's like, imagine that we are saying here, the child is running. One character or two is for child, one or two is for is, and one or two is for running. Of course, I'm just exaggerating. The point is, this is not like English or Spanish, where the software can do the line break after a word. So it sometimes has to do the line break in between a sentence, which sometimes could happen to be a spot in which breaks a word right in the middle. Okay, so therefore we have created a series of system symbols and signs that will help us avoid as much as we can these kind of problems. So the first one that we want to teach you here is the double space. Double space refers to this. But before I go into that, I want to show you something. When you create a line break in an SRT, here, this software that you're looking at right now is called AGSub. And the symbol that they use to create a line break in between a sentence like this one is an inverted diagonal or slash and next to a capital N. Okay, if you click Shift Enter, you will have that added automatically. Okay, now once we have that in mind, the system that we created with the Chinese translators here is that every time that they need a line break, they will put double space instead of one. For example, right here, 1, 2. Okay, so this happens all over the document, like here too. You can see it pretty obvious. 1, 2. In some others are not so obvious, like this one. This is not so obvious. Oh, this is only one. That's why it's not obvious. Anyway, you get the point. That's so funny. So it's very painful that we go manually and just select here, highlight this, and then substitute by this diagonal and thing. So what we do instead is that we go and click Control Alt or Command Option F, and then we go and click space in Find, and in Replace we paste the /n, okay, the inverted /n, and then we just click on Replace All, and there you have 156 matches that were replaced, that you don't have to go one by one to check it out. Okay, now you can see here how the double space was automatically replaced with the inverted /n, and you can see it here all over the document, here and then here and then where is it, here. Okay, now I want you to see something. Right here on the top right corner, you see a number in a little box, a number 10. I want you to pay attention to that number while I delete the /n here, and I replace it with a double space. The number went from 10 to 21 and then the box turned red. What does that mean? Well, this number right here indicates the maximum number of characters contained in a line. And I set up that number below, below 18. If we get more than 18 characters long in a line, then it will send me this warning. Why is this important? Because I discovered that the maximum number of characters in Premiere Pro with the font size that we use is 18. If you go over 18, then the next character, the software will do a line break in that particular character. So if this was the case, for example here, then in the software, in the first line, we will see this. And then in the line below, we will see this. Okay? So when we replace that double space with an enter, that number goes from 21 to 10, which indicates that the longest line in this particular segment has 10 characters, meaning that we are under the number of 18, which indicates that we won't have a weird line break. Okay? So how do I set this up? This is automatically set up, and I think the automatic number they have, it's like something like 25. How do I change it? Well, I go to Aegisoft, and then I go to settings, and then I go to, let me remember, I think it's advanced, no, interface video backup automation. Here, no, this isn't it, sorry. Ooh, okay, I need to check this and come back to you in another. Oh, here it is, maximum characters, interface, maximum characters per line, and my maximum number is 18. Okay, so if I go over to 19, then the box will go, will turn red, and it will be a 19 number or whatever number of characters we have there. Okay, now the third thing that we have to keep in mind here is this triple plus symbol. And for that, I want to show you something. This triple plus means that I need to join these two segments here into one. But I want you to notice something. This segment 1, goes from second 796 to second 955. While the second segment starts in 955 and ends in 1255. What I want to do is that these two are combined and that it all starts in second 796 and it all ends in 1255. How do I do that? Well, I highlight both segments and then I right click or click with my two fingers depending on your kind of computer, and then you click on join keep first. Okay, that's very important. Join keep first. And as you can see here, now the start is 796, ends with 1255, and since we kept only the first line, then the three pluses are deleted. If instead I would have done concatenate, what would happen is that it will combine both lines into one, this way. Okay? It's only one space in between both lines. So I don't want to do that. I want to combine. I mean, if I do that keep first thing, then that concatenate thing, then I just have to delete the previous line. Now, doing that by working with the mouse, it's not very efficient. So what I do is I go to AG Sub, then I go to settings again, and this time I go to hotkeys. And then I go to subtitle grid and I create my own hotkey, which is Control W, and then the function that I select is edit line join keep first. And I just do that going right here to clicking on new, and then I have to input what's the hotkey that I want to use. The hotkey that I created for this particular function is Command or Control W. So I just highlight my two lines and then I Command W, Command W, Command W, Command W. So as you can see here, this is faster. Okay, it's almost immediate. So instead of going with the mouse that takes longer, I just do it with my commands. And I want you to notice something. Let me go Control C. Here we have two lines with plus sign. That means that the function is exactly the same. Pay attention. We start with 3 minutes 43 seconds, and the last line ends with 3 minutes 51. So I'm gonna do the join keep first, and now we start with 43:38 and 51:02. Okay. So that's the third or fourth one that we saw. The next code that I want to show you, I don't know if this one has it. Let me find it. 1, 2, 3. Is 000, which we don't have this. We don't have in this particular case. But the next symbol is 000. That 000 means delete that line. And we can do it. Let's imagine that this triple plus is instead a 000. So what I want to do is I right click and then delete lines. That's one way. The other way that I invented is, well, not invented, I came up with is, again, creating a hotkey the same way that I did with Command W, but this time is Command D or Control D, and then that will delete the line. So I just click Command D and it's gone. Okay, of course this time I don't want to do that because it's a plus thing, but that's the way to do it. So that's pretty much it. That will make the whole process much productive and faster. All right, so thank you guys, see you next time.